Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Osun Speaks. I hope everyone's doing wonderful on this beautiful Wednesday early afternoon. So, without hesitation, I'm going to dive right in, but as usual, I just want to welcome our existing members, and new members. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, our show is called Osun Speaks, where every voice is heard. We discuss a wide variety of topics here, ranging from today's world events and how they're impacting your life or have impacted your life, what your projection is for the future. Also, we focus a lot on your spiritual background, platform, or lack thereof. This has a lot to do with the steps in the path that you're actually going to take in life. What cultural platform or spiritual platform are you involved in now? Is it the best fit for you? Or if it is the best fit for you, maybe the leader is not correct for you, or maybe there's just something else you're looking for. Also, we spill tea. We love to do that as well. So thank you for tuning in, and let's just jump into the topic. This early afternoon, I just popped onto my private Facebook page, where I basically have my family members are there, and friends, people that I actually know and correspond with. So my little cousin, who is, he's my big little cousin, because he's not that little anymore, but he's a considerable amount of years younger than I am. But he is also a minister in Georgia. His mom was, God rest her soul, she was my mother's eldest sister. And this was a very incredible woman, very, very incredible woman. She was one of those moms and one of those aunts that, you know that if Aunt Joe was around, you better be careful on what you say, because Aunt Joe would not hesitate. She would not hesitate to just draw it back on you. Bow! She was just one of those moms, those old school moms and aunts. So, but I loved her to death. That was my Aunt Joe. I loved her to death. So, she just didn't put up with the shenanigans. Let's put it that way. My grandmother was a woman who would care for everyone. She didn't care who you were. She would take care of everyone. Didn't matter what you did, you know, she would be the first one to tell people, you know, you're wrong for what you did, or what have you. But what matters most is if you try and correct the situation. But some people just don't. That's just who they are. That's just their path in life. But that's not for us to judge. So my cousin, and yes, D'Anthony, I am mentioning your name, and I'm mentioning what was said in the post. I responded to a post with him speaking about a young man who apparently passed away. I don't know the young man. I don't know the situation. I only know what I read there. And I responded, I reacted to what I read. And I was very disappointed. And D'Anthony, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, I'm very disappointed in you for this particular post. He just made a comment that he was sick and tired of seeing people, I guess, pretty much have empathy for those who have done wrong, especially after they have passed away. In short, that's what he was saying. That this particular person, I believe he said, had killed 42 people. Or better yet, let me do this. Let me get my facts straight, because I was always taught, and what I taught my daughter as well, which is key in being an attorney and dealing in law, is that you have your facts straight before you comment or before you speak on on a situation. So let me do this. I'm going to pull up his post, and I'm going to make sure that I have this correct. Before I continue speaking on this. Let me see, I think maybe he deleted the post. This is possible. But anyway, apparently this was a young man who murdered people, a considerable amount of people. He murdered them. I believe he said it was 42 people or something to that effect. And he robbed 12 people, or it was just a lot that was going on from what he stated in the post. And he said that he was sick and tired of when people are doing all these horrible things, that when they pass away, everyone grieves. And they said, okay, well, now God has another flower in his garden. Okay? But no, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I'm reading all of this, you know, I'm reading this post that my little cousin wrote as a minister, and I'm trying to understand, where is all that coming from? You know, did he have a bad day today, or is there something else that's causing him to bring this message through in this way? So after I read it, I responded. And I said the following to him: you know, I'm very disappointed in you. I'm very upset with what you said. It's about how you deliver the message. It's about how you deliver the message. If you wanted to comment on the things that this particular person has done in their life, all the horrible things that they've done, okay, that's your right to do that. But it's a way that you're delivering the message. And there were a ton of people there agreeing with him, and there were a lot of older people, to my surprise, a lot of older people there. And, you know, I made a comment to that to direct it towards the older people who supposedly should have wisdom at this point in their lives. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. How dare we as a people sit back and judge anyone? I'm not speaking about a judge in a courtroom. Just something as simple as this: when your own backyard is not clean. There's not one person who could walk the face of this earth that says that they're without sin, they're without wrongdoing. It's not one person. Impossible. You're just very good at hiding it. Or you're very good at saying, okay, I'm sorry, and never speaking about it again. But how dare you, how dare anyone attack another individual's character in that way? The world knows what he's done. If he's murdered these people, if he's robbed people, regardless of what he's done, the world knows. But if this person has passed away, and that's all that you feel you can say or you want to say, don't say anything at all, because that's one thing our grandmother taught us. If you don't have anything good to say about a person, don't say anything at all. Just keep your mouth closed, because it's not your place to judge. It's not your place to say, live your life right, and then you'll be welcome into heaven with open arms. Have you been to heaven to know this to be true? And this goes for everyone, because I've heard this story from a lot of people, a lot of ministers in church. A lot of people have said, oh, in order to get into heaven, you have to live your life right. You can't do this, you can't do it. So I need to understand who made them the expert on getting into heaven. I need to understand that. Do they have a cell phone or an email for God? No. And you can't sit and tell me, oh, well, I have this Bible here, and what this Bible tells me. No, you can't tell me that, because that Bible has been rewritten numerous amounts of time. It has been rewritten, and God's word has been distorted. You could find the truth in there. You just have to know how to decode it properly. You have to understand what metaphors are. When this Bible speaks of our God's word that it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. Do you understand what that means? It's a metaphor. But people take these words and they twist them to fit their own needs for their own gratification. Never, ever degrade, demean anyone to make yourself look bigger than what you are. Because one day, that will be you that's being degraded and demeaned. Trust me, it's true. You can live your life right, do everything that this Bible tells you to do. Because you're living right by whose standards? God's, yours, or the words of a man that's just like you? So how dare you say, or anyone say, live your life right, and you'll be welcomed with open arms into the kingdom of heaven? No, you don't know what you're talking about. Horrible statement. Horrible. You live your life according to what you are feeling. What you are feeling. Because what may work for me may not work for you. You have to give account for you. Don't worry about what the next person is doing. You can't worry about that. Because when we make our transition and we shed this skin, this shell, and we elevate, we're going back to whence we come from with the knowledge and the wisdom that we've gained here. We're not going back saying, well, you know what? I went to church every Sunday. I paid my tithes every Sunday. And, you know, I did exactly what the Bible told me to do. You want a gold star? So because you did all that, does that make you any better than the next person who didn't go to church every Sunday, who weren't able to pay tithes every Sunday, but they got up every day, worked 7 days a week to take care of their family, raised their children, all of their children, the best way that they could, and then they died. So now, does that give you a gold throne, or does that place you any higher in our Creator's eyes? Because you went to church every Sunday and this individual didn't? What makes you better than that individual? Nothing. We are no better than the next person. We are all flesh and blood. Every last one of us. It's just that some of us live in our own thoughts of grandeur. Just because you stand in a pulpit every Sunday or every Wednesday night or every Thursday night and you're able to quote some scripture and it sounds good, it does not set you aside or make you higher than any individual on the face of this earth. And my little cousin, I love you dearly, and I am not targeting you, but I'm bringing a message to you and so many others that are out there right now. So many others that are thinking and doing the exact same thing, even worse. I tell you, my people, don't ever put yourself up on this pedestal. Don't do it. Just as the birds were created to fly through the air, through our universe, they all must come down to roost one day. They can't stay up there forever. It's impossible. They weren't created that way. You can take the richest individual on the face of this earth. One day, that individual will return from whence it comes. It came from with nothing into this existence. it will return to where it come from the same way. And I'm going to clarify that for you. This individual may be the richest individual on the face of the earth. And when it passes away with a grand funeral, its soul is elevating with nothing. It's not taking a checking account or savings account or money market stocks and bonds. It's not taking a degrees. It's not taking that loved one. That soul is elevating alone, returning back to where it has come from. We came into this existence bare. We were fortunate enough to gain a little while we were here. But when we leave, all of this material aspect and everything that we knew of in the matter is the flesh, the solids, the matter, the everything that you can touch and you feel and that you have here. This is the matter. This will all be left behind. It's not the fluid. The soul will return to where it has come from bare. Can't get back to where you come from and say, okay, well, I'm back and I'm better than you because when I was down there, I had PhD behind my name. I had billions of dollars in the bank and I lived in a mansion on a hill. Don't matter. It's not going to matter. So when I tell you, I implore you, not tell you, I implore you, be careful of how you treat others. Be careful on how you speak on others. Be careful. That is not done to you in return. Be very careful. I don't condone anyone killing anyone, by all means. I just don't. But there are some very sick individuals in this world. Very sick individuals. But that's not my job or your job. Pass judgment. You can have your opinion. You can have your opinion. It's as simple as that. We have courtrooms. We have judges. They're doing their job. That's it. It's very simple. They're doing their job. They lock someone up for murder, for robbing, whatever. That's what they do. That's what they're there to do. That's their job. But for us to sit, or for people to sit and speak as if they have never in their life done anything, you may not have done anything as drastic as killing someone, but you've done something. But because you feel that your sin wasn't as bad as killing or robbing or what have you, raping, you feel it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You still have a sin. You're still dirty. You're not innocent. And you have a lot of older people out there, they think because they get old, that all the stuff crap that they've done when they were younger, it don't matter anymore. Boop, nope, yes it does. Still matters. They think that because they get old and they find Jesus, that's their famous thing. You have people that have just lived this crazy life all their life. And all of a sudden they get old and it's like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. And all of a sudden they're angels, they're saints. They think because they're old and have gray hair or what have you, that they're saints. No, 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 no. Don't work that way. Don't work that way. You're still who you are. Just because you got old, that just means you're old with sin. That's it. But still, that's not up to me or anyone else to judge. I'm just here to enlighten you and wake you up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Whether you're old or young, doesn't matter. Wake up. You still have sin. And just because you find God or you find whatever spiritual platform it is that you're involved in, that doesn't mean that all has been forgotten. No, I'm sorry. It has not. and to make yourself or put yourself higher than the next individual because you figure, well, I found religion in some shape or form or some spiritual platform. No, doesn't work that way. You don't go around and pass judgment on anyone. Sorry, can't do it. So people, I implore you, make sure that you have no sin before you go and make such strong statements, especially after someone has passed away, to say, oh, you know what? God's garden hasn't gotten another flower. You don't know what is going on because you're not there. You've never been there to your remembrance. You don't remember from whence you've come from. God has not come down. The Creator has not spoken to you and said, listen, this individual is not with me. Because to make such statements of this, you are in complete contradiction of your own belief system. Because you are a Southern Baptist minister where you believe in every word in the Bible. So that means you believe when this story of Jesus, the man-child, the man Christ, was hanging on the cross and forgave a thief and murderer and said, this day you will be with me in my Father's kingdom. I'm disgusted. And this is the issue that I have with people who claim to be ministers or leaders, and regardless to what faith or what platform you're in, I've come across so many contradictions. So many. It's time to stop the nonsense. Living in your own thoughts of grandeur at the cost of others. It's wrong. It's wrong. And it makes you look horrible. And it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm not passing judgment on anyone. Again, I'm enlightening you. I'm enlightening you. Make sure that all that you're preaching, you're walking that walk and not just talking it. Because at this moment, that's what's happening. You're talking it and not walking it. Our ancestors will turn over, and they are turning over in their graves. Our Creator is crying out. Again, I implore you all, make sure that you're just not talking. And with that being said, go forward. Love your neighbor. If there's someone you feel you can't deal with, then just don't talk to them. Leave it alone. It's just that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. We as people make life complicated. It's very simple. My grandmother used to say, feed a person with a long-handled spoon. And if you can't do that, wash your hands of them. It's simple. Very, very simple. Don't on Sunday praise the Creator and catch the Spirit, or whatever it is that they're doing nowadays in church. I don't know. Or if you're in a different platform, going to ceremonies, drummings, and catching spirit, or whatever it is that you're doing, and then on Monday, you hate me. Wow. Because that's what's happening today. This is what's happening. And then you wonder why the world is in such a crisis. You think about this. It's not getting better. No. Because what would happen is if this whole pandemic, this whole crisis just ended today, I give you 7 days and everyone would be back to hating one another. Right now, everyone's coming back together and they're cheering and they're laughing together and being kind to one another. Yeah, okay. This is humankind. It's okay today because we all suffering. But as soon as we're back up on our feet and everything's well, it's business as usual. That's why this is occurring. This is one of the reasons why this is occurring. Time, history has shown us so many different pandemics, so many different plagues, events, crisis that has brought about the destruction of men, of mankind in multitudes. We still haven't learned yet. We'll never learn. We'll never learn. Because humankind, every individual is living in its own thoughts of grandeur. Okay, I get it. I get it. But what will it take? What will it take? Maybe it'll never happen. As I said in my previous recording, it's kind of like asking a leopard to take off its spots and put on stripes. So my people, our Creator is not asking you to take off your spots and put on stripes. Our Creator is crying out to you to look at you, to look at yourself. Start with the change there. Stop looking at everyone else, trying to change them. Clean yourself up first. Face that inner person, that inner demon within you. Because if you clean up there first, you won't be able to look and spot and condemn and demean everyone else. Be happy, people. That's it for today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. May Osun bless you and keep you and cover you in peace, light, prosperity, happiness. May our ancestors always, always fill you with knowledge that one day will turn into wisdom. Until next time, enjoy this beautiful day. Enjoy this weather. Allow our sun to rejuvenate us. Allow the sun to rejuvenate us. And just do me one favor. Just after you watch this video, if you have a handheld mirror on your phone, on your wall, wherever, even in your car, I just want you to look in that mirror and look at yourself and say, I love you. Thank you. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.